He coined the famous term, anyone? He's economist and author of the book, The Capitalist Code. Look who's here, Ben Stein. Ben, what a great movie. That was a funny line, anyone. It's so funny. I'm sure, do you get people coming up to you in bars saying, anyone?
Well, I don't go to bars, but I go through airports, and it happens about every 30 seconds.
So, given what
every 30 seconds.
Given the Smoot-Hawley reference and what President Trump is bringing up with tariffs, what's your reaction?
My reaction is that trade wars are always a bad thing, but that we have a special category for steel and aluminum, which is that they are vital defense commodities. And we are in a stage where the Cold War is heating up incredibly rapidly. The days when there was no Cold War are over. Russia is bragging, threatening. There's real danger of real conflict. We need to have a strong metals industry in case there is war. It sure looks to me like there's going to be some kind of war. Well, I think so. So we need to have a dynamic metals industry. I don't believe that anti-free trade is a good idea, but I think in certain categories we do need to have some protection for our own industries. And as certain members of President Trump's circle were saying, the additional cost of the materials because of this tariff is trivial. I mean, people don't understand. Steel and aluminum do not cost very much. If you raise the price of it by 25%, it doesn't change the price of an automobile by very much or a refrigerator very much at all.
All right, so here's trade advisor Peter Navarro defending the Trump tariffs. I think he's saying what you're saying. Let's watch.
If you put a 10% tariff on aluminum, how much do you think that increases the price of a six-pack of beer?
You
have
tell
any
me.
idea?
You're going to tell me a penny.
1 cent. I'm going to tell you a penny. How much do you think it increases the price of an automobile if all the costs are passed through? $45. How much do you think it increases the cost of a 777 Dreamliner that costs $300 million? You know how much that is? Take a guess.
So why do you think that the auto
But, you know, the argument is, Ben, that it'll raise consumer prices. And now you have ExxonMobil and other oil and gas companies saying it's going to raise our prices as well for our refineries and our pipelines. And that could cause oil prices to go up maybe. Who knows? What's your reaction to that?
Oil prices move on the basis of trades and commodities markets. They don't move on the basis of the cost of a piece of pipe. There's no evidence whatsoever that there's ever been a big move in the price of any commodity because of the cost of the metals used in extracting that commodity. That's a total non-starter.
I hear what you're saying. Let's get to this story. Republican Senator Orrin Hatch. I don't know if you saw this, Ben. We want your reaction to this. He called Affordable Care Act supporters, the supporters of Obamacare, stupid and dumbass people. Watch.
That was the stupidest, dumbass bill that I've ever seen. Now, some of you may have loved it. If you do, you are one of the stupidest, dumbass people I've ever met.
He also said there are stupid and Ben. He also said there are stupid and dumbass people on Capitol Hill. But now you know what the outgoing senator. He's apologizing for his comments. What's your reaction?
I saw that he made those comments at the American Enterprise Institute, one of the most conservative, buttoned-down people in the world. They must have been having a stroke with laughter at this guy using such wild language. I think it was extremely intemperate language, and he shouldn't have said it. And I don't think that the Obamacare was a stupid, dumbass idea. It wasn't the right idea, but it was a stupid, dumbass idea. I love Orrin Hatch. I love Utah altogether, but it was a stupid, dumbass idea.
But it raised a lot of prices across the board. But, you know, Ben, here's the thing. Don't you love when these outgoing congressmen, they sort of like take the lid off? I mean, John Boehner did the same thing. The real congressman comes out. They start talking and saying what they really think. I think that's refreshing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's very refreshing, but Orrin Hatch at least didn't start crying. I mean, we're not going to, you know, the thing I'd really like to see is a competition between my very, very close friend Jimmy Kimmel and Boehner about who could cry the most on TV. I mean, let's have a crying competition. But meanwhile, back to the tariffs. The tariffs are not going to hurt us much at all, if at all. A worldwide trade war would be a very bad thing, but that's not going to happen. They'll work out some kind of deal about this so that nobody gets hurt too much. The Chinese don't want to get hurt. The Koreans don't want to get hurt. We don't want to get hurt. It's just a lot of talk.
Ben Stein, we love having you on, sir. Thanks for coming on the show.
Love being on. Thank you so much.